Hi everyone, welcome to episode 2 of the Thompson & Morgan Bonsai Acer Grow Kit. This kit has been sat in the grow tent for longer than it should have been. We should have revisited this after 4 weeks, but it's been substantially longer than that. So it's now time to get these into the fridge for stratification. We've had nothing happening in any of the pots, which I wouldn't normally expect. If there'd have been some pines in there, we'd have probably got some action from the pines, but in the Acers, the palmatums, they're both palmatums and these are mixed. So we've got 2 mixes and 2 palmatums there, and then we've got a solo palmatum there. So we'll get these upstairs and into the fridge, and I'll show you them going into the fridge because I have a new little fridge upstairs in the garage. So seeing as the video is quite a short one today, because all it is transitioning the Acers from the grow tents into the fridge for stratification, I thought I'd just give a little bit of an update on some plants that we've got some growing. So I received a pencil cactus cutting from Jared Paul from Jarhead Bonsai. We've become good friends over the last few months. We've had a lot of communications, and he's given me a lot of support at various times when I've needed it. So thanks, Jared, for that. You know, your emails and attention for me, you know, you've been part of getting me through the last couple of months, so spot on, thank you. But he kindly sent some cuttings out from his channel, and I was one of the lucky ones to receive one. And this little fella came in the post, and it was all limp and couldn't even stand upright on its own. So it's been sat in this little glass container, which I just put a bit of soil in and created a little hole and slotted it in, and it sort of leant over. But it's been sat in the grow tent, and it's had its bits die back to where it's been cut off, etc. We've got a little bit of growth out of the top of here. I don't know whether that's going to carry on, but yeah, it's standing strong and it's standing on its own. So that's the pencil cactus from Jared Paul at Jarhead Bonsai. I'll put you a link down to his YouTube channel down below. He's a really cool guy. He's got a hell of a lot going on. A lot of videos going up on a regular basis, so feel free to nip over there and have a quick look. Now, another thing that we had growing, which decided it was going to fall apart on me, was we had these couple of little Blue Jacarandas that all this growth was up and out and doing extremely well, you know, really going strong. And then I went in there one day and it had started to weep and fall. So I kind of left it, hoped it would come back, but it all just fell and killed. But this one, we've got quite a bit of growth coming out of the trunk of the stem. So as you can see, this one hopefully is going to give us a little bit of something to go at. What I have noticed is I think there's some little flies, or you know, the beginnings of some flies that could probably come through. So I'm going to give that a bit of a clean up. And then this one, I just wanted to show you what that one was like before it died off and the top pretty much fell off. This one's dying back slowly. So I'm literally just going to take the dead branches off and see if we can get it back to a point where it might start growing out like the other one, and maybe rescue a little bit of something. But we'll get rid of all the dead branches, and if I have a look Yeah, it's actually died in the middle. Right there, it's actually died in the middle. You can see it's all gone just here. The rest of it seems to have a little bit of green left to it, but it's gone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to literally just cut back to there, because it's died back to around about here, and then if we get anything coming out of the green part that's left, we might be able to rescue it, but I would imagine that it's going to die all the way back and that'll be it gone. So we'll deal with that. So we'll get these back into the tent upstairs. We'll get the Acers into stratification, and we'll obviously get Jared's pencil cactus back into the tent so that can continue to do great things. You can see there it's really nice and rigid. We're just hoping to get some growth out of somewhere. So I'll see you upstairs. So here we are up in the garage. You can see the tents behind me. You can see there's still lots of growth going on in there. You can see some things are trying to recover. I'll just give you a quick look in to the tents. You can see there the Pinus halepensis from a previous kit is growing nicely there in the redeemed tray that we've got. There's some of the pines have fallen over in some of the other kits. The botanical bonsai, the ones that were growing there, we've got one coming up, but then we've got one at the front that's fallen over and died. We have the Dilonyx regia that's growing nicely, and the Pinus aristata has collapsed, the one that we tried to rescue. And we have a couple of catalpa trees that are just beginning to get a little bit too big for these grow tents. The ficus are growing really well, and then lower down the other kits that we've put in recently are growing well. You can see the pines are doing quite well there, so everything's coming up nice. Few die-offs, but on the whole not too bad. You can see some of the forest plantings down below. You can see the sagarita has grown up and come through and absolutely taking over, so we're going to have to make that one of our next projects, to get the Chinese plum out and do some work on that. The Scots pines now need our attention. That'll probably be the next kit to come out, but they're actually still doing quite well in those little containers, so I'm quite happy with those. And then the apple tree at the back that looked like it was dying off has a good bit of growth coming out of the top, so I'm quite happy with that. So here's the fridge, my new little fridge that I've repurposed. And if we look inside there, you can see we've got quite a few of our stratification seedlings from different kits, the Colosseum kit, etc. So we'll put the T&G bonsais in, or the seeds, sorry, the kits for the, and hopefully when we bring these out they will be ready to go wild in the spring. So we'll just put that in there. So that's the Acer Thompson & Morgan kit away for stratification today. Pete would just like to show you that this is the tent that was contaminated with the different flies, etc. You can see some of the trees that we repotted have been also contaminated. They've blackened off, but we do have growth coming back through on that. We've got some ficus trees that we need to pull out and do some work on, and then we have our larger jade planting that needs to come out. Now I know some people will laugh at that. That's a larger one for me, because a large jade to most of the people that have watched are really huge. So for me that's a large one, and for some of you guys out there that's just a baby. So thank you for joining me here at Let's Do Bonsai. I'm Scott Winard, and we'll see you again soon.